And we are back! So, i-discuss natin, i-continue natin yung ating discussion. So, in the previous video, I have discussed learning and perception. So, in this video, I will be focusing on attribution. Okay, so, natin, ano nga ba ang attribution? So, attribution is the process by which people ascribe causes to the behavior they perceive. Parang ina-attribute, kinoconnect mo, parang ganyan. So, ang attribution theory class, it focuses on how people attempt to, number one, understand the causes of a certain event, to assess responsibility for the outcomes of the event, and third, evaluate the personal qualities of the people involved in that event. So, an example here is, an employee always feels very nervous whenever the office manager calls her to present her weekly report in the manager's office. Her anxiety affects her, and her anxiety affects her very much, including the delivery of her report. So her unit supervisor sympathizes with her and would like to help her overcome her fears. The supervisor started to monitor her moves so he can determine the reason for her behavior. The supervisor clearly adopting the attribution theory to help her subordinate. Okay, so I have this friend na, sana hindi niya ito mapanood. Okay, so I have this friend na sinasabi niya na parang nag-depress siya or na masyado siyang na-stress for the past weeks, ganyan. Tapos, ang ginawa niya is she tried to find the cause kung bakit niya yun nafe-feel. Parang she's trying to solve it siguro, ganyan, para mas less yung worry niya, ganon. And she, actually yun yung attribution theory, yung hinahanap mo yung cause of your behavior, bakit ganon yung feel mo. And she realized na every time pala na nangyayari yun is malapit na siyang magkaroon. So yun pala yung cause. So yun yung attribution theory. Okay. So, whenever we experience this, na hinahanap natin yung cause, nagkakaroon tayo ng, pwede tayong magkaroon ng error, okay? Or pwedeng yung naisip natin na dahilan ay hindi. Na-associate lang natin siya, okay? Pero meron tayo ditong common attribution errors. So, the common attribution errors kasi merong dalawa, fundamental attribution error and self-serving bias. So, ang fundamental attribution error is the tendency to underestimate the influence of external factors and overestimate the influence of internal or personal factors in the behavior of others. Okay, so perfect example yung nandito. For an instance, yung area manager is pinling niya yung store manager for failing to attract a sufficient number of customers rather than the poor location of the store. So, ang tinitingnan niya, parang ang sinisisi niya is in-overestimate niya yung error internally. Okay, and underestimate yung external factors. Okay, for example, ako sisisihin ko yung sarili ko na hindi ako magaling, ganyan, pero yun pala, I am just underprivileged na wala akong resources, ganyan. So, don't do this, okay? Na, merong external factors kaya mag-feel ka, ganyan, hindi lang dahil sa'yo yun. Especially inside the organization na, for example, you are the manager, hindi mo dapat isisisi lahat ng mga fault sa mga employees mo, bakit ganito yung sales, ganyan. Kasi pwedeng dahil sa mga competitor, dahil sa pandemic, dahil sa inflation, mga ganyan. Next naman is yung self-serving bias. It's an attribution error whereby people tend to attribute their achievements to their good inner qualities, whereas they attribute their failures to adverse factors within the environment. Okay, so ito naman, may example dito, an employee, Dr. Agaw is an employee of a state university. He and his superiors are members of a fraternity. This relationship became a major factor in his recent promotion. When pressed by his colleagues for a comment on his promotion, he declared that he thinks he is better qualified than the others. Within the span of 5 years, Dr. Agaw failed miserably in his job. When his superior was replaced, he was demoted. Dr. Agaw blames his co-employees. Okay, ito naman self-serving bias. Yung parang masyado kang Self-serving yung parang tingin mo, di ba, ikaw yung magaling, ganyan, lahat ay attributed sa'yo dahil, ako, na-promote ako kasi magaling ako, hindi dahil merong tumulong sa akin, ganun. Okay, yun yung reality na may tumulong sa'yo, kaya ka na-promote. Okay, yun yung nangyari sa kanya. So, meron tayong figure here ng fundamental attribution error. Sabi, sorry, I'm late, there was traffic. Yan. So, sabi ng isang kasama niya, you are flawed as a human. Ganyan. Itong J-accusators ko to kung ano to. Pero sa accusation na dahil na-late siya, sama na kagad siya, parang ganon. That is fundamental attribution error. Okay. Sinisisi niya yung tao, imbis na yung traffic. Kaya, kung ako comment mo, ay, oo nga, grabe naman yung traffic. Tapos siya, sinisisi niya yung ka-office mate niya na, na ikaw, hindi ka magaling or something like that. Okay. So, there are factors that influence attribution. Okay? So, meron tayong tatlo dito. Distinctiveness, consensus, at consistency. Okay? Distinctiveness means yung parang yung parang uniqueness, ganon. It's the consideration given to how consistent a person's behavior is across different situations. So, for example, ganito. For example is, an example is provided. So muna, before ako mag-isip ng ibang example. So, Mr. Nick Cargada was recently hired by another university as a driver. When he was asked to deliver a letter to someone in a nearby barangay, he used the school's motorcycle. Along the way, he hit a stray dog. So, nakasagasa siya ng dog. The next day, he was ordered to fetch 5 professors who attended a seminar in a nearby town. This time, he used the school's newly purchased van. On the way back, he hit a carabao resting on the right side of the road. On the third day, he was directed to transport 50 student athletes to participate in competition in a nearby province. The university was filled to capacity when started driving. The bus was not yet 10 kilometers from the university when it bumped an old man along the road. Mr. Cargada's performance was declared disgusting and his employees attributed the internal cause his personality. Kasi parang paulit-ulit, di ba? Okay. And although related din sa consistency, ang naisip ko na example kanina is yung a person na laging late. Laging maaga. Okay? For example, itong person na to, laging maaga, or kahit sa mga estudyante ko na, kunyari, ito, lagi namang maaga, 5 minutes before the time, or nauna pa siyang dumating sa akin, andyan na siya. But there's one time na bigla siyang na-late, or sunod-sunod siyang late. Okay, syempre magtatanong ka, di ba? Magtatanong ka, anong nangyari sa kanya? Baka may nangyari sa kanya, di ba parang fundamental na HR na concept siya na, magtatanong ka, bakit anong nangyari? Kasi based on his consistency is, lagi naman siya bumabasok. So, ibig sabihin may problema. Yun. So, pwedeng lumipat siya ng bahay, kaya siya na-late, or dahil may problema siya, ganon. So, next naman is consensus. This refers to the likelihood that all those facing the same situation will have similar responses. Okay? Let us not assume na same situation, we have different or we have the same response to a situation. Okay. So, for example, Mr. Okleng and the other 5 employees in his unit failed to arrive in time. Mr. Okleng's late arrival be attributed to an external factor. Okay. So, hindi ibig sabihin na dahil na-late silang lahat, ang dahilan na ay dahil na-traffic silang lahat or pwede kasing iba eh. Okay. Yun. So, next is consistency. Ito. This refers to the measure of whether an individual responds to the same way across time. Okay, ito naman. For example, Mr. Klein's performance in his previous assignments was declared unsatisfactory. When he was given the job as records clerk in the registrar's office of the university, he made a considerable number of wrong entries in the student's records. Second, when he was assigned a typist, he made incorrect entries. Nung transfer naman siya sa supply, he failed to record a number of incoming stacks. So, based on his behavior in the above-mentioned situation, he was declared a consistent incompetent by his superiors. Of course, kasi consistent nga siya. Na, yun nga nagkakaroon tayo ng error na, okay, dahil lahat, lahat, mali ka sa lahat ng pinuntahan mo ay incompetent ka, so susunod hindi ka na tatanggapin or baka tatanggalin ka na kasi parang binigyan ka na ng maraming chance. Okay? And of course, yung ating shortcuts in forming impressions of others, actually parang connected rin siya sa error na nagagawa natin. Okay. Number 1 is selective perception. Okay. In summary kasi, selective perception is seeing something based on our interest, background, and experience or attitude. So, ang selective perception kasi ito yung pwedeng pinapakinggan mo lang yung gusto mong marinig, tinitignan mo lang yung gusto mong marinig. Kaya nga, ang pagtingin sa life class, para siyang selective perception kasi pwede mong tignan as bright, pwede mong tignan as bad life. Sabi nga nila, it's a bad day, not a bad life. Wow, ang dami na nating quotable quotes na yun. Ayan. So, parang ito example na to, you can see it as half full kapag positive ka. But if you are negative, you can see it as half empty. Okay. So, tingin tayo ng iba example dito. Okay. So, it is impossible for a person to assimilate everything he sees, hears, smells, touches, or tastes. Only a limited number of stimuli can be taken in. That's right. I think na-discuss yun sa marketing na parang a day, thousands of stimuli lang nakikita natin, pero nabibilang lang yung kaya nating i-process. As a result, people engage in selective perception. For example, if a person had an unpleasant experience with food inside a restaurant, it will not be hard for him to perceive 5 people negatively, right? So, selective perception, kasi mayroon ka lang prior experience na, ay, pangit yung ganitong food. So, kahit sa restaurant, ang tingin mo sa kanya, pangit. Pangit yung lasa. Okay. So, ito pa. So, when he was a teenager, a certain employee was mugged by dark-skinned persons. So, when he grew older, he found it difficult to relate with co-employees who are dark-skinned. Kasi nga, meron siyang prior experience na binubuli siya, gano'n. So, every time na ayun niya na hindi na siya, kahit sa ibang lugar, kahit sa ibang workplace pa siya, or kahit in the future, pag yung dark skin yung nambuli sa kanya, dahil dark skin yung nambuli sa kanya, ang tingin niya na sa kanila iba na, gano'n. So, of course, it is wrong to judge people with insufficient information. So, dapat hindi nakaka-apekto yung ating mga experiences sa perception natin, lalo na sa makikilala natin in the future. Okay? Kapag nasaktan ka, pwede naman hindi ka masaktan ulit. Mali mo, di ba? Andyan lang siya, tapos makakakilala ka ng perfect for you. Ganun, di ba? Okay. The next one is halo effect. Okay. Let me ask you first, anong halo? Bukod sa halo, pinapause na ako. Bukod sa kanta yon, what is a halo? Hindi halo-halo yan What is a halo? A halo is yung parang hindi masungay, pero yung bilog sa taas ng angel, right? So it occurs when an attribute of a person or situation is used to develop an overall impression of a person or situation. I think meron din yung term na pang negative, pero this one is pang positive. For example, meron akong pinagawa sa'yo, you are good, if I am your manager, meron akong pinagawa sa inyo, kunyari, pinag-encode kita, gano'n. Okay? So, pag pinag-encode kita, the next time, makakalain ko na magaling ka na at nagawa mo yun ng maayos rather, galing mo, maayos lahat, walang errors, ganyan. The next time na magpapagawa ko sa'yo ng iba na, magpapa-research ako, magpapa-edit ako, ganyan, tingin ko, magaling ka na sa lahat ng bagay. That is halo effect. It's because, yung first impression mo ay okay, tingin ko sa'yo, lahat ay okay na, or magaling ka na sa lahat. Okay, so, it occurs when one attribute of a person or situation is used to develop an overall impression of a person or situation. For instance, a brilliant criminal lawyer may also be perceived by many to be also brilliant when he engaged in selling real estate. Kasi nga magaling siya. Okay, ibig sabihin, parang ito yung sa first impression last. Kung maganda yung impression mo, maglalas din yun. Okay? That is halo effect. So, halo refers to that ring of light, yung ring of light just above the head of a saint when we see it in pictures or paintings. The halo signifies that everything about the saint is holy. Okay, so a person's outstanding achievement in one area may serve as his halo, and he may be perceived as outstanding in other endeavors as well. That's right. For example, pag sa klase, dahil mataas ang nakuha mo sa quiz 1, isipin ko na rin na magaling ka talaga sa lahat. Pwede kasing tsamba lang, di ba? So, pwede ako mag-shortcut na isipin ko na, magaling siya sa lahat. Or dahil magaling ka sa subject ko, akalain ko magaling ka na rin sa lahat. Magaling ka sa math, kaya magaling ka sa English, Science, Filipino. Ganun yung halo effect. Ayan. So, sabi niyo, this young boy is so determined, he is the best guy for this job. Di ba? Dahil determined siya, tingin nila ay siya na ang perfect for the job. Okay. The next one is contrast effect. So, a beautiful lady may be declared as the third prettiest in a certain place, but he could be number 1 in another place. Lalo na pag sa pag-rank, no? So, ang contrast effect kasi, class, occurs when an individual's characteristic are contrasted with those of recently encountered who rank higher or lower on the same characteristics. For example, sa height, ang contrast effect is, uy, ang liit mo naman, ganyan. Pero actually, hindi ako maliit. So, tinatabi lang talaga ako sa mga matatangkad, kaya nagmumukha akong maliit. Yun yung contrast effect. Yun yung negative. Ay, maliit siya kasi mga kasama niya pala, mga basketball player, ganyan, di ba? So, a job applicant may be rated very well in an interview because mediocre applicants were interviewed before him. So, the same applicant may be rated poor when he is preceded by bright ones in an interview. So, same person, dahil, for example, sa interview, mga nauna sa akin hindi magagaling. Kaya nung ako lang in-interview, okay, mataas yung grade ko. Okay, pero nagkaiba naman na yung isa naman na instance kapag yung mga nauna sa akin magagaling. So, pag ka-interview sa akin, kahit magaling naman ako, dahil magagaling nga sila, tingin na sa akin, hindi magaling, ganon. Contrast effects yun. So, contrasting situation oftentimes lead to inaccurate evaluation of a person's character and ability. Okay? So, in-evaluate mo, lalo na kapag sa mga mga rating sa mga, actually, dito sa irin yata natin yung sa performance appraisal. Ganito kasi yung nangyayari doon. Okay. Another one is projection. Okay. Projection is an attributing one's own thoughts or feelings or motives to another. Okay. Ito is yung nafe-feel mo, parang nang-project mo sa iba, nang hindi mo na siya nararamdaman. Ito, for example, I don't admit it, but I am bitter. Bitter ako. Kaya naisip ko, yung therapist ko bitter din. Ganon. Another example is, as a manager, pag ako ay motivated, kunyari gusto ko mag-overtime, ganyan, gusto ko mag-work, ganyan. Ang projection class is nagkakaroon ng error na iisipin ko rin na yung mga employees ko ay motivated din katulad ko. Where in fact, hindi naman kasi iba-iba naman tayong nafe-feel. Okay. So, yung last one class is stereotyping. Okay, this is very common. Siguro narinig nyo na before, pero hindi nyo lang alam yung definition. Stereotyping refers to judging someone on the basis of one's perception of the group which that belongs. Okay? So, usually, stereotype sa mga girls or sa mga women sa workplace, ganyan na merong glass ceiling na women are too emotional, kapag may kids ka, hindi ka makakapag-work, women leaders are bossy, you can have it all, we don't hire women just for this role. That is all stereotyping. Or ang stereotyping is, example lang, hindi siya workshop, pero pag malalaman nyo na, ang mga Ilocano ay kuripot. Ganon. Ang mga, ang worst na narinig ko na stereotype, kasi di ba nag-aalala ko sa Baguio, yung mga igorot daw, may buntot, ganyan. Kasi di ba galing nga sila sa mountains, na feeling nila para silang mga unggoy. Pero no. Stereotyping is a no. It's a negative one. So, do not judge them based on the group they belong to. Okay, for example, yung mga kasama ko ay yung mga kasama ko ay mga masusungit, ganyan. Kasi ang birds with the same pleasure flock together. Akalain mo, ini-stereotype mo ako na, masungit din siya kasi kasama niya yung mga yan. Ganon. So, ano bang example dito? For instance, a manager may think that older people are no longer productive. So, based on that belief, he declined the job application of a 60-year-old person. So, the basis for the decision is unfair because he thinks that the applicant is a stereotype of what he believes. Na dahil bata siya, wala pa siyang alam, kaya hindi ko siya i-hire. Okay, millennials. Actually, yung perfect example din sa mga millennials. Anong stereotype sa mga millennials? Actually, yun yung, yun yung research interest ko yung sa mga millennials. Kasi very misunderstood ng generation ang mga millennials. Kayo ata mga Gen Z na ba kayo or millennials pa rin? Pero ang misunderstood kasi yung mga millennials, yes, Gen Z na yata kayo. Yung mga millennials kasi parang millennials daw kapag mag-hire ka ng millennial is nag-job hopping, masyadong demotivated, ganyan. Yun, stereotype yun sa mga millennials and not necessarily na applicable siya sa lahat. Okay, so it may be true that older people are no longer fit to work, but not all of them. The hiring of older person may be greedy firms to entertain customers to prove the ability of some older person. So, kung matanda man yan or bata, hindi dahil iisip natin na masyado siyang, pag bata, wala pag-experience or matanda, masyado nang inefficient, mahina yung buto niyan, ganyan. Okay, we cannot do that. We cannot have that conclusion. Okay? Yun. So, I think that is the end. So, ang source reference nito is this one, Human Behavior and Organization by Roberto G. Medina, PhD. Okay, and of course, for module, nandun din siya. And before I end this video, okay, I will leave you this quotation na very applicable or very relevant. The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. Okay? Sabi nga sa Bible or sa mga Bible quotations, no, when you are weak, you are strong. Okay? At times like this na nahihirapan ka, there is always a rainbow after the rain. So, God, kaya ka nahihirapan ngayon is because God is preparing you to what you are praying for. God is preparing you tungkol doon sa pinagpe-pray mo na makagraduate. Okay? So, trust the process. Just be patient. And always do your best. Mag-pray lang lagi, ask for guidance. And when you are tired, just rest. But never give up. Yeah. Thank you for listening in this discussion. I hope you learned a lot, especially the life lessons. Dahil HBO is very applicable in real life. Thank you. God bless everybody.